Alicia Williams here on location today with Yoda Cobb, also known as Josh Cobb, founder and CEO of Steps. And Steps is a business that we've done a lot of business with in the last couple of years, and probably one of the single best reasons we've done so well in the social and digital media marketing space. He looks like, oh, stop it. But I would say meeting Josh is one of the reasons why our business has had the focus and understands the importance of digital and social media marketing, and why it's so imperative to get it right and to understand it and not necessarily outsource it, but know it and work with some people who are suitably qualified in that space. So Josh, welcome, and thank you for your time this morning.
You need to lower everyone's expectations, my friend. That is a really nice introduction. Thank you.
Oh, that's okay. Well, maybe we'll just bring it down a level. I think we were talking before, and you're also known as a lawn enthusiast. So if everyone just wants to bring down those expectations, really nice guy, has had some time in central Queensland, which is good, in the old stomping ground. So Josh, for the people who don't know you or Steps, can you tell them a little bit about what Steps is all about and also what you're about?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. We're a digital marketing company, and our role at the end of the day is essentially to advise businesses on profitable digital marketing decisions. And there's a lot of marketing agencies, a lot of marketing consultants who are very good at generating what we call and what you know as vanity metrics. So, getting you more Facebook likes and more Instagram followers and all of those things. And they're all important. That is not where we specialize. Our job is to help businesses run profitable digital marketing. So to actually generate revenue and profit rather than the kind of vanity metrics that other people focus on. So we only work in the real estate space. So our clients consist of real estate businesses, real estate agents, or right up to multi-office groups as well, with hundreds of offices all around the country. We've got clients in almost every city in the country. And we started back in 2014. This will be our 6th year coming up in October. And that's a bit of a snapshot of what we do.
And you're doing some amazing work in that space. And as you're saying before, it's not just sort of smaller boutique independent brands. You're looking at businesses that are on scale. They've got 5+ offices and looking to roll out some pretty cool stuff. What would you say has been the biggest challenge in creating the Steps brand so far?
The biggest challenge, I'd probably go back to the beginning, and like any business owner that starts a business, I can't speak for every business owner, but I certainly think I'm not alone in this regard, is that I was very poor at letting go of stuff in the beginning. So back in 2014, when it was just me, I had some people helping me, like freelancers and that sort of thing, but no one on staff. And I had a lot of trouble letting go of things because it was the brand that I was building, and it was a brand that I was really proud of, and I wanted to make sure that things were done the right way and done with a certain level of care and attention. And a big thing for me has always been the service that we give to the people we work with. And I'm a little bit old school like that. It's something that my father certainly instilled in me when he was in business, is that, face-to-face is where the economy of business happens. Zoom is great, and, we're kind of forced to use it at the moment. But as soon as this COVID thing leaves, a lot of people are predicting that Zoom will be the normal. I tend to disagree. I certainly think I'll be jumping on a lot more planes than ever as soon as I am able to just go and see people. And I think that's been a big focus for me. But in the beginning, I had a lot of trouble letting go of things and documenting processes and systems. But yeah, probably 2 years in was when, that all changed. So probably about 4 years ago now is when I really started to let go of things and put the systems and processes in place to take us to the next level.
And you talk about systems and processes, and a lot of businesses strive for that because that's a holy grail of business. You have these things in place so that you can step back and do other things. But in theory, it works. In practice, not always. So how do you ensure that you have that quality assurance about your service proposition, your brand, and everything else that you do?
Big thing for me has always been to make our team feel like, and we've got 10 team members. We've got other consultants that work with us in partnership, but on our team, the Steps team, there's 10 of us, and probably will be 12 by the end of this year, given how fast we're growing at the moment. So I would say the biggest way that I've been able to manage that is to make our team feel like this is their business, not mine. And it's something that I say all the time is that, don't treat this as my business. Don't feel like you're working for me. I said, I'm working for you guys. You guys are the ones that need to take ownership of, I want you to think of this as your business and make decisions that you would make as a business owner throughout the micro moments of what they do each day. And that's been a huge kind of time saver for me to be able to step back and have they made mistakes? Absolutely. But, we have something that we say in our team is that sometimes we succeed, sometimes we learn, and we never fail. And, whenever someone makes a mistake, and we've made lots of them, we own up to it. We say sorry. Sorry is not a bad word in our business. If we make a mistake, we'll own up to it and just get on with it. But I would say that letting our team feel like this is their business, and that gives them a whole different mindset into, if I make a mistake, how's that going to be viewed? Or am I going to lose my job? Or am I going to get into trouble? Or is the client going to leave us? Or, so it just changes their mindset to one of a business owner, which is protect the brand, make sure we do the right thing and use our best judgment and be comfortable that we will make mistakes at some point.
Yeah, and I think that's very, very true. And it seems to be the emerging way of leadership in the future. So it's not just this hierarchy structure. In fact, it's very, very different. It's sort of all level playing field. And you touched on it just then with, you're not working for me or for who. It's not like that. And I've had staff before and they say, oh, this is my boss. I'm like, do not say that. Definitely do not say that. We work together because literally we do work together. We're all a part of a team. I can't achieve what I need to do with the business and take it in future direction without you guys doing amazing work. And we've always believed that for the people here, they really have to work on their own brand. So, don't hide behind locations and just be an order taker. Be someone who gives advice and steps out and owns that, because people, as you say, they want to deal with people and be, face to face. They don't want to have someone who's just hiding in the shadows. So I think it's very, very important, and probably why you're doing so well. We did speak about it just before, and the size of your business. And you just had no idea it was going to be this big. So what is your goal for, say, the next 12 months, and what are some of your bigger goals?
Well, if I go back a step, first of all, and kind of I talked about it before, 2 years into the business where it changed a fair bit for me. It was when I had a colleague, someone who I'd known in the industry for quite some time, who ran an outsourcing business, or a BPO, in the Philippines. And I traveled to the Philippines as we had one team member there, and as a web developer back many, many years ago, who's still with us today. He's our team leader. And at that time, I actually interviewed the owner of the business, just like we are now, to talk about outsourcing in real estate and why real estate businesses should consider outsourcing their business and all the benefits, the things to consider, the disadvantages. And I jumped on a plane from the Philippines to fly back home, and I got to Hong Kong, and I was sitting in the lounge at the Hong Kong airport 4 years ago. And I was listening back to the interview a little bit, and all the things that this person was saying, I realized I'm not doing in our business. And, I've just interviewed this person. And when you're interviewing someone, sometimes it doesn't, you're thinking of the next question and the next question, and you don't really kind of just stop to take on the advice.
Yes.
So I listened to it again, and then I realized, okay, I need to put these things into action. And one of the biggest things was documenting processes, systems, checklists, video recordings of all the things that you do every day. And another piece of advice that I kind of meld together with that is something that a mentor of mine once told me. Is he has a 10-year plan for his business, and his plan is to remove himself 10% from his business every year. And then at the end of the year, the end of that 10 years, he's kind of superfluous, or he sells the business, or has someone internally buy it or something like that. That's not my objective at this point, but removing yourself 10% every year from the business should be, it's been a focus for me, so that I can focus on more high value things rather than getting down into the minutiae of what we do.
Yeah.
So at that point, that's when I got back to Australia, and documented everything that we did. We built a library of systems and processes and checklists of all the things we do, everything. And we recorded video casts, like commentary, like while we were doing it. Here's what you need to do. Here's a companion checklist to follow. Built it all into our software. We went through and evaluated a whole bunch of checklist software programs that would integrate with our CRM to make sure, it works seamlessly. And 4 years later, here we are. We can plug it in if we need a new web. We bring on a big project. We need 2 new web developers, for example, or a new assistant or a graphic designer. We can now plug them in and with no issues whatsoever in terms of, they can hit the ground running, follow the checklist, follow the screencasts, and that's continually evolving. And that doesn't just remain static. We update it all the time. But that's where the turning point for me happened. But in terms of the next 12 months, the next 5 years, it really is an exercise in making sure that we pick the right clients, and that our team enjoying working on projects. So just more of that. And, I have, I guess a vision for our business on, working with the best of the best in this industry, because people who value what you do is ultimately who you want to work with. You don't want to work with people you don't like working with. So
are they a good person? Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So for the next 12 months, 5 years, we want to do more of that, building up, the people that we work with. We've got some products that we're now selling secondary to our services. So we've got an online courses platform now that we're turning, rather than running in-person events, which we can't. We've now got an e-learning platform that we've turned all our in-person events into online, so people can purchase courses and learn step-by-step through those. But really what it's about for us is just getting on board clients that we love working on some really exciting projects, and just continually trying to stay a step ahead of everyone else who does what we do, and just looking outside of our industry for inspiration and turning it into the projects that we work on. So, yeah.
And so where do you go for your inspiration? I am aware that you go to Inman, or have been there before. Is there anywhere else that you sort of look for that daily, weekly, monthly, yearly thing?
Well, for the people who are watching this who don't work in the real estate industry, real estate is a very insular place to be. And if all you do is get your inspiration from other real estate agents, other companies who do what you do in the real estate space, you're going to be very stale, and people will come through and just they'll walk all over you. So we look outside of real estate. Inman is a real estate conference in the States. We've been to a couple of times, but more so probably in the last 5 years, we've gone to conferences like Social Media Marketing World in San Diego, or Content Marketing World in Cleveland in the United States. And this is where companies like Disney and Apple and GE and Johnson & Johnson and Lego and all these amazing companies come to talk about what they do in the marketing space. We steal their ideas and bring them back into real estate, and no one's ever tried them before. So we look outside of real estate and look for inspiration in areas that relate. And it's funny how much they relate when you start to dive deep. We certainly look outside of the industry we work in.
And I think that's a good trait that you have, particularly with your entrepreneurial mind, and a lot of other business owners that I know, is they can pick stuff from another industry and, tweak it a little bit, but then apply it to their own and see some really good efficiencies through that. And you talked about it just before with decision making and who you want to do business with clients. And I think that's imperative, or it's important for everyone really, because you need to, one, trust a person, get along with them. But the other thing we relate to in our business is core values. So making sure that everyone is really across what the organization's core values are, and then what their own are as an individual. So we've had that before, where you might have someone and you think, oh, they're really just annoying me, or this is not working. What is it? Well, they're probably compromising your core values and you're letting them. So in business, if we talk about goal setting and what that looks like, part of what we do is making sure you have those healthy boundaries and that really clear point of reference. So if you're speaking to someone like, oh, do I really want to do business with this person? And what's the opportunity cost of letting them go if you've got some really other good people in your team and you can scale them up and help them and really leverage their business as well.
Yeah, I love that. I completely agree. We kind of keep it. I'm not sure if it's quite as advanced in its thinking as what you guys have invested in, but to a large degree, we do a similar thing. But it's more so for us about, for me personally as the business owner, is making sure that our team enjoy working with clients. And we've fired clients before, probably 3 times in the last 6 years. It's not a good feeling, but at the end of the day, it's the way they've treated our team members. And in real estate, there's some big egos. There's some people who in real estate who they're used to getting what they want, and we're very careful about who we work with in the initial stages, and we make sure we go through a vetting process to make sure that are they fixated on what they want, or are they open-minded? And if they're not open-minded, we tend to say, look, we're probably not a good fit for you. You've already got it worked out in your mind how you want this new website to look, or how you want this thing to work. Our job is to work out what's going to be best for you, and it's not always so. For me, it's really important that the team enjoy working with clients. And on three occasions that I can remember, I've had to call a client and say, look, I don't appreciate how you've treated our team. And look, it's clear to me that we're probably not a good fit for each other. So we'll help you facilitate. We don't just drop and run, but we've said we'll help you facilitate the transfer of the work that we've done for you over to someone that can be more aligned to what you're looking for. And that's happened a couple of times. It's not a good feeling, but the team, as soon as it happens, we just get on to working with the clients that they love working with. And you've got to be, as a business owner, you've got to be prepared to do that. And if you're not, you're going to lose team members over it if they they're working with clients who give them
if you haven't got their back. And I've always believed that there's something better for them and something better for you, and it's just business, and there's no hard feelings. Doesn't mean that you can't get along elsewhere in another time, but for this particular thing, it's just not working now. So let's just make this easy, and wish you well, see you later.
And there's a saying
sometimes, but it happens like that.
It does happen like that. And I heard at a conference a little while ago, and you take care of the TX and the CX will take care of itself. So you take care of your team, the customer experience side of things will look after itself. And your team are going to be, if they trust you, they're going to tell you, hey, this guy's a bit of an a-hole, or so they need to be comfortable in having that conversation with you as well. And our team certainly are. I think as a business owner, you have to be prepared for it, and not just take every paying client that comes through your door.
Yeah, and I think you actually have mentioned it in one of your podcasts, training things, blogs, whichever they are. It's there. I've seen it's probably a different 5 different locations around actually being specific with your clients and having a niche, as opposed to saying, hey, we're open for business for everyone, when really as a business you aren't going to be able to service everyone. But then being able to niche who you want to, and there might be a couple of different target clients that you want to do business with, and then once they know that you specialize in that sort of field, and like, hey, these are my people, and then you obviously have more of the same client that want to do business with you, because it's really just a partnership on that way forward to whatever they need to do. Absolutely. I am mindful of time, and I know you're a busy man. I've got a couple of quick questions for you.
Oh, it's all good.
What's on trend for 2021 in the social and digital media space? Any hot tips?
Oh gosh, it is so hard to. If anyone sees a blog that says, "Here's the digital marketing tools that you must use in 2021," or I don't think anyone can write an article like that at the moment. Who knows? I think. But here's how I'd answer that. Social media and digital marketing, all these things are just new tools for old rules. And if you have added value to your clients through those tools, and I'd just say keep doing that. And, through this time, this whole COVID thing that we're all going through, if you're taking opportunistic marketing little game, if you're being opportunistic with your marketing and trying to use it as a bit of a way of getting more clients, it's going to have the opposite effect. You need to be adding value, lots of value to your current clients, and they will turn into other clients for you, especially when this is all said and done, and the economy sort of roars back to life, hopefully very soon. People are going to remember who added value to them during this time. So, I'd maybe take the question away a little bit from the tools, the tech, and more into the activities that you're putting into those tools and tech. I don't think it matters what tool or technology we use. It's how you use it, especially at a time like this. And I think at the moment, any business that's not adding value to their current clients is they're going to struggle. They're going to really struggle.
Yeah, I would say value and also consistency. Because you probably see a lot where, everyone comes in hot and heavy and they're doing these amazing things, but then they'll just disappear. And COVID, we've seen businesses where they're just like, oh, I don't know what to do. So it's almost paralyzed them. And then they're not there at all. Whereas they should just be there if they don't know what they're doing. Perception is the reality. You're still got to be present and consistent. But value is definitely.
And that's what people want. Like clients especially our clients, that when we give them a call to, we're working on whatever it is. And you have a chat to them, and for the first 5 minutes, it's like, well, what's happening in your market? It could be Melbourne or Perth or Sydney or Brisbane or Gladstone. And for our industry, it's almost like a release that they it's like, this is what's happening in my market, and it's actually nice for us as a business to understand, what's happening all around the country, and it's not the same in every city or every region, and I think I get the feeling they really enjoy just voicing it to someone that's prepared to listen, rather than, they're talking to their clients every day saying, oh, look, we're struggling to find buyers at the moment. Open for inspections aren't possible. We have to do everything online. Like, they're going through all these fundamental business changes. I think they actually enjoy talking to people just about, the general, what's happening. Yeah. Just about life. So just, talk to your clients about any, if you've got a relationship with your clients, you can have a general chat. But before the call, we were talking about where should we stay at Noosa, right? If you can have a conversation, if you can have a conversation with your clients about stuff like that, that's really special. That's something that, it's no longer, it's not just a transactional relationship. It's, it's something that, it makes business a lot more fun.
Yeah, well, business, and there's also just being real, I think. And Frederick Eklund, one of the best brokers in the world, he talks about in his book, The Sell, big character, big personality. And I remember when social media was just coming to the forefront in, his industry, and there was a bit of talk about, I think, the brokerage he was working for, and they were saying, well, you have to split your social thing. And he's like, well, no, I want to have my person is my person, I'm going to put my kids on there, and he didn't have kids at the time, but I'm going to put my personal stuff on there with my friends, but I'm also going to put my real estate. And I think more people are seeing the value of that and why it is important, because people want to know who they're doing business with. That's really what those social profiles are about, not just, goes and does 20 shots of the weekend on the bar, but that's in some secret dodgy profile. And then you have this, glossy, ivory tower type personality here. It just doesn't work like that. And soon enough, people will find it out, because you still talk to people, and talking to people is just so important. If people want to get in touch with you, how can they find you?
Jump across the steps, 2ps.com.au, and they'll find my contact info on the About page, and they can, or just connect with me on LinkedIn. So Facebook and Instagram, I do use as a digital guy. I tend not to use them too much for business. I keep them pretty, I don't keep the profile separate, but LinkedIn is where I connect on most of the things that we're doing as a business.
Yeah, as a professional level, not professional Facebook. That's what I think LinkedIn is kind of really. And what's your one word of advice that you've had from someone else and you'd like to share with the greater business community?
Oh, look, there is, look, I'd hate to pick just one.
You can pick a couple. We've got some time.
Well, look, I think,
top two.
Look, it's something that, it's something that I've had instilled in me ever since I was a little guy. When my dad used to travel a lot for business, did a lot of business in all over the world, in Europe, US, United Arab Emirates, and traveled a lot. And something that he was even saying, we were just talking last week, my father's gone through a little bit of had a heart attack a little while ago.
Wow.
And is now recovering, is doing well. And something that we were talking about was business, and with a lot of clarity now, as you go through a life event like that, you start to, as most people do, they tend to reflect on their life and what's important. And we had a really good honest chat about business, and I was sharing with him what we're doing and how we've been going in the last 6 months. And he said something really interesting, was and I totally agree, is that after this is all said and done, it's not just a matter of staying online. You need to see the people. There's going to be still planes flying, there's going to be trains and buses and everything as we start to roar back to life in the economy. And you've got to go see people. You can't just rely on digital tools like Zoom and Skype once this is all done. The businesses who are trying to skimp on money or a little bit short-sighted are going to rely on these tools. But if you want to work with high-paying clients and high net worth clients and trusting clients, people that are going to trust your advice, you need to jump on a plane and go and see them. And I'd say the same thing to any business person. You don't have to jump on a plane, but get in your car, go and see them, or jump on your bike and go and see them. Whatever your business is, I think once we can be face-to-face again, I fundamentally believe that is, great businesses will, who are in a service-based industry like we are, will do so much better if they're jumping, on some mode of transport and traveling to see the person face-to-face, and not just relying on a phone call or an email saying, I want to come and see you. And when a client for us, pre-COVID, we'd say, look, it could be Perth or New Zealand, if we're going to do some work together, I'm going to jump on a plane and come and see you. Immediately, their whole presence is really, and they don't. So it is a huge thing. I think anyone in business today, make sure at least you're using Zoom. Make sure you're using Skype, all those wonderful things, so people can see your face. But as soon as this whole thing, we're allowed to be face to face again, go and do it, because I think that's where the economy of business is going to happen.
It's good advice from your dad. Maybe he should write a book.
He's got a lot of time at the moment. He's not doing, as he recovers. But
there's plenty of ways he could get that done too. You could just do video, and then obviously, with Rev, just code it out.
There you go.
Yeah, there's an old fella that very, very good businessman. He's going to come and coach the team this week. It's called Climbing Success Mountain. Awesome. Just a really nice, normal guy. Has had a couple of car dealerships in his time, but from humble beginnings, just a really hard worker, and has business now. And he was like, yeah, well, someone has said that I should write a book. He goes, but I just, the last one I had to write about my time as I think it was a sheep shearer or something there, because it took me 2 years. I'm like, well, we can definitely speed that up. You could just do the voice things here and we'll offload. He's like, really? Like, he can definitely talk though. So I pity the poor person who's going to have to edit it all. But I think, as you say, see people face to face, be in the context of their environment, pick up all the energy cues, and use the technology as an enhancement, really. Yeah,
and look, the last thing I'd say, Alicia, a lot of people in our industry, and I hear young real estate agents saying this all the time, is that, the younger people who are buying property, not that a lot of younger people are buying property at the moment in Australia, but that they often say, look, they don't like phone calls. They like to be communicated through Facebook Messenger and Snapchat or TikTok or whatever they're using. I can't disagree more. I still think people who are going to be spending a fair chunk of their money, the biggest investment they've ever made, pick up the phone. Don't just rely on messaging and Snapchat and all these things. Just pick up the phone and have a conversation with them. I think you're going to have a lot less issues on the other side of the transaction as well, I think, if you pick up the phone.
Yeah, I completely agree. Or do more to become a better part of that person's life, so that they do actually want to let you into their trust circle and have that conversation.
Yeah. Well, robots aren't selling houses yet, right? So, don't become one.
Almost as bad as a for sale by owner. Just,
I don't know anything about that.
Very true, very true. All right, well, thank you so much for your time, Josh Cobb.
Thanks. Thanks, Alicia.
Been a pleasure as always, and I'm sure we'd love to continue this conversation, but time is of the essence. So thank you, and we'll catch up with you soon.
I'll see you in Noosa.
Yeah, see you.